So I died a couple times here too, not paying attention where I was going. So this third time I end up escaping from Charles. So I took my time to actually try to get through this, and I ended up escaping. Charles is sitting in the hallway talking. Basically, he's saying that it's futile to leave here. Eventually, you'll end up getting stuck here. End up seeing the girl again. Pregnant everybody's June Giovanni. So I have one problem with this video. So I was using two programs to actually record, one for the video and one for the audio. One for the video was OBS Studio, worked perfectly, worked fine. Well, the other one is Bandai Cam, which I was using for the audio. Well, guess what? I recorded 1 hour and 38 minutes worth of footage. It only recorded 5 minutes of me talking. So, with that being said, I can either do two things. I either can do a voiceover, which 9 out of 10 probably ain't gonna turn out right because I don't know exactly everything I said, or you can just watch the video without me talking. You can still see my mouth talking, but you ain't gonna be able to hear nothing. So, with that being said, I'm probably gonna do it without the voiceover and just call it for just talking of the bad luck. And next time, just gotta make sure that I'm paying attention of if it's actually recording my voice. And I did a test and everything, and it worked perfectly fine, but somehow it stopped recording, which I don't know. I might try to do a voiceover, who knows. I try to explain everything that I can in the video. Trial and error, trial and error. Especially when you first get started, it's trial and error. You know, these things happen. So what can I say? Stuff happens. Back to the drawing board. But with that being said, if you like the content, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I gotta do better. I'll see you on the next episode. Okay, so to start off the video, I had an ad that was playing and I decided to dance. And at this point, this is when the game started kicking in and I did my intro like I always do. But like I said, the audio is not working, so we're gonna do the best all we can. So this is where we left off at. We had just seen the security guard and we had just met him. When we seen the security guard, we had the conversation. He was basically telling us to calm down. You know, he's human just like us. And during this duration, I had basically skipped through all of it because I had already went through that part. So I decided just gonna skip all of it. And now we on chapter 2, the scoping department. So we walking through, I guess, the hallway looking at the clay statues. And I noticed one was different from the other one. And then one decided to break, and it scared me. And so we having a conversation with him again. So I'm sitting up here talking, thinking to myself, like how many floors it was. This is when I noticed that he said that he had dropped papers around, so just in case if anybody should get lost, You know, they can yell security and he'll come straight to them. And so now I'm just walking around trying to figure out where I gotta go next. And I see the blood stains on the ground, so I'm like, is they gonna kill me? And they end up killing me. And so I had to end up starting back over. And so I looked at the door, and the door had a note on it. And the door said succeed. So I went down to the next place. He said, go behind you. Well, let's go by the place behind us. And so here's a small little puzzle where I had to do to figure out how to unlock the chess pieces at the bottom. It was a black piece and a white piece in the way. So you had to put the black piece where it needed to go, and you had to put the white piece where it had to go. And once you put both of them in place, then both of the chess pieces move. And I decided to say it again because I ain't want to do that again. So at this little puzzle, you had to figure out where to go. And if you made the wrong move, then you'll end up blocking yourself off. So I had to take some time to actually think and see where I had to move. So I figured out where to go. And I ended up picking up a clay key. It was to the door that I went to at first that said that was locked. So we end up unlocking the door. And now we're in this room, and this white chess piece blocking the way. And I end up finding the paper. You find these papers everywhere all over the floors. We'll say final year project. So I had to end up finding the key to success was hands, head, legs, and arms. It was a keypad right here where I had to put in numbers. So I'm walking around trying to figure out, you know, what the numbers coincide with the body parts are. Once I get to the four-headed serpent, that's when I figure, you know, these are numbers coincide with the body parts. Body 0, hand 1, head 4, legs 6. So now I'm going back to the room that I was in. And so I look back at it again and it say hands, legs, bodies, heads. Now I got to figure out what the numbers are. Now I'm putting in the code, which was 1604. The chess pieces move. And so we're talking to the statue now. I didn't realize that the statue was actually talking to us. We're having a conversation with the statue. I noticed the statue was at the first beginning of the game. So I'm guessing in this world, the sculptures actually come alive and talk. And he gave us the clay tools to actually help the statue that was in the way, because he was actually blocking the way. So now we're trying to help him, but he's saying go away. And now we're going around to collect the clay that's on the ground. And so we're trying to help him rebuild himself. He just don't want us to help him. He's basically like, leave me alone, I'm a failure. That's why my master called me failure. So it got to the point that he got mad and he decided he wanted to attack us. His name was Failure. So they gave me the chance to save the game, and during this whole process, I had died multiple times. And he was just kept killing me, and I was just laughing about it. So it got to the point where I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to get this dude off my tail, and I'm trying to go and get him out the way. At this point, like, I'm staying focused, like I'm trying to hurry up and get it done, because I'm not really good at keyboard. But so I managed to get out the first part. As soon as I got out of there, I saved it, because I didn't want to do that again. And at this part, I think I died multiple times too. I think in this one, you probably only see I maybe died maybe 3 or 4 times. But in reality, I died like plenty of times to this dude. And I didn't notice you had to actually push down the box. You had to move the boxes so that you can slow him down. So I think this is the last run that I did. I ended up pushing the chest piece against him, and I ended up, blocking his way so he couldn't get me. He could get me. So this is where we end up in the hallway. We're pushing this chess piece to try to get away from him, which I don't understand why he just didn't get us, because he was moving fast in the previous hall. And so we finally got away from him. He was telling her maybe we should get a little rest because, we might be a little tired. We had been running from him. And during this whole flashback dealing with her mom, and her dad, basically what was going on, the dad worked too much, and the mom was at home with the daughter all the time. And this is the girl Anne that we're playing as. This is a flashback. And basically what's going on, her dad trying to say that she's a slow learner, but her mom was basically saying that she's different from other kids. It was a very terrible experience for her. I'm gonna just let y'all read it. So during this whole experience with her mom and dad, they didn't want to take responsibility for her. They was just basically tired of taking care of her. They was just basically making excuses. And the mom said that she was leaving, giving her to the dad. It's like she don't want responsibility for her own daughter no more. Then the dad said that he was done with both of them and he was leaving. Mom said that, her family don't want have nothing to do with her own daughter. And the dad decided to send her to an orphanage. Like that whole experience was pretty bad. So the security asking us was, did we get enough sleep? Was something wrong with us? And so I asked him about, his job as a security officer. He was basically saying that, he took this job to make sure that um teenagers like her didn't end up in this situation where they was somebody end up getting lost. And basically he was, telling her that the time works different in this place. From a day-to-day basis, time works different. Day can last just an hour till morning, and then other times morning can come within 48 hours. So it just depends on from day to day. It's a day-to-day basis. And now we're about to get to moving again. And so we see this girl again. And now we on chapter 3, the fashion department. And basically, I'm saying that, we're going to go and finish chapter 3 and get to chapter 4, and then we're going to stop. And I realized the statue is moving. So I was like, I know I'm not tripping, so I know it's moving now. And so now we at the fashion department. And so this plant is basically saying that move them, please wake them up. It seems like all of them, the plants are asleep. So I had to figure out the puzzle real quick. And I ended up figuring it out. So once I figured out the puzzle, the other plant moved. Didn't realize what that was, but I ended up grabbing a coat. So now I'm just looking around. So this coat is asking me, well, it's saying that it's Mr. Coat, Mrs. Skirt, and Little Scarf. I didn't realize it, but it was a puzzle. So I found Mrs. Skirt first. And I went back to, make sure that I know exactly what I'm looking for. And I ended up putting the skirt on one of the mannequins. So now I'm looking around trying to find the other two items. And then realize that I actually can look into the boxes. So now I'm searching all the boxes. In the last box, I end up finding the scarf. So I end up putting the scarf on one mannequin, and I end up putting the coat on the other mannequin. And basically the coat saying that she missed all of them, and they let me pass. And then I see this little creature again. I end up finding one of the security guards' papers. So then I found one of the mannequins that had numbers on it. Didn't realize that it was actually part of a puzzle that was coming up ahead. So I decided to start writing the numbers down, and this was 3. And then notice that the little creature was sitting right there amongst the mannequins. Then I found another number, which was 1. And I decided to save because I didn't want to do it again. So this game tells you to save frequently. And here's another number, which is 4. So it's 314. And the last mannequin was 2. 3142. Them same numbers that I had just picked up, this coincide with that. But I didn't realize it until I got like past a couple of the doors. I realized that it was the numbers that I picked up. This is what it coincide with. So I think the first one was 2 and then 4. I think I ended up guessing the first 2. And we meet Charles Worthy, who was one of the teenagers that was missing. And then I noticed the music was bumping, so I decided to dance. So after all the dancing, I decided to go and try to read what Charles had to say. And Charles is another one people that came up missing. He ended up becoming like a prop here, a mannequin head, to be more precise. Basically, Charles just wanted to play a quick game of hide and seek. We had to find him. We made an agreement. If we found him, then he'll let us out. But we had to play by his rules, though. So this little part, I didn't realize that I had to watch what I was doing. Now this part, I died like plenty of times. But basically it was a puzzle to try to figure out where to go. Took some time to actually figure out their patterns and where to go. So I got Charles the first time, and Charles is cheating, by the way, because he said you only had to catch him once, but you had to catch him multiple times. So this is the second time when I caught Charles. I decided to wait right here because even when you're talking to Charles, he'll still kill you. It's the third time I got Charles. This is when I caught Charles again for the fourth time, and they end up moving. I had to end up taking a break to use the bathroom, so I came back. So I died a couple times here too, not paying attention where I was going. Third time I end up escaping from Charles. So I took my time to actually try to get through this, and I end up escaping. Charles is sitting in the hallway talking. Basically, it's saying that it's futile to leave here. Eventually, you'll end up getting stuck here. End up seeing the girl again. He's basically asking her, was she okay? And she end up, falling out. Probably from being exhausted and tired. And so he's trying to check on her to make sure that she's okay. So he decided to, scout ahead to make sure there wasn't any more danger. But he ended up deciding to leave her by herself, which I feel was messed up. I understand that, his heart was in the right place, but still, though, it kind of sucks. And we are on chapter 4, the exhibit hall. So we went from floor 5, 4, 3, two, and now we on the base floor, which is one. And we end up encountering this girl again, which still trying to figure out who she is. And so we end up running into one of Charles' puppets, and he's talking to us. Well, he's talking to the security guard anyway. And he's basically telling him the mannequin shut up, end up punching it. So this is where I stop and I end up saving the game. Cause that was basically for me to stop. And basically here I'm just telling you everything that went down from when we, went through chapter 3 and everything that went down, and we went through chapter 4 and everything that went down. And basically I'm just ending it, with the intro. With all that being said, feel free to come and like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.